So do you think the BJP government has done a good job in eradicating black money? Because ever since demonetization, this entire subject of black money has been put under the carpet. Nobody's speaking about it. In fact, when Modi ji became the prime minister, this was one of his major promises that he'll
Yes.
eradicate black money. And you've written a book on the black
Several
economy.
books on black economy I have.
Several books.
Penguin and LF and demonetization and so on. Point is, you see, the demonetization was done on the wrong premise. The wrong premise was that black means cash. So if we remove cash, black will go. Okay? This is the wrong premise. Because one has to understand the difference between the money in your pocket and your income. Income is a flow, money in your pocket is a stock. And when you hold any assets, okay, then it's called the portfolio of assets. So your savings will be in bank, in real estate, in shares and so on, right? So similarly, black also will be held as a portfolio. It'll be undervalued inventories, it'll be various accounts abroad and so on and so forth. So cash is only 1% of the black wealth. So even if you were to take out the black cash, estimated to be 3-4 lakh crores, right? But your black wealth was 300-400 lakh crores. So this is chicken feed. Okay. And even this 3-4 lakh crore you could not take out because 99.3% of the money came back to the Reserve Bank of India. So therefore, this black cash also didn't get eliminated because you converted it into new notes. In fact, you generated more black income because the bankers and others who change your notes charge you money.
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of reducing black income generation, it actually helped in more black income generation. And second is that your income is every year. Suppose you are a doctor, you see 50 patients, you declare income of 20 but not of the other 30. Then that's your black income, right? This is called under-invoicing. So under-invoicing continues. So even if you'd managed to take out the 3-4 lakh crores, right? Then next year they would have generated again and they would have had that 3-4 lakh crores back. So it did not help in eliminating black cash. It did not help in stopping black income generation because that under-invoicing, over-invoicing has continued. And that idea that, people will use less cash, that also didn't work because from 18 lakh crores of cash then, now it's increased to 35 lakh crores.
It has increased.
It has increased. It's almost doubled. Okay. So people are holding cash. Okay. So therefore, it did not serve any purpose. They said we'll stop counterfeit currency. But how do you stop counterfeit currency? Because that's being printed by some other state actor. So as soon as the 2000 rupee note came, within 10 days, fake currency of 2000 rupee notes started coming. Because state actors are there. Then you said that financing of terrorism will end. Terrorist financing. But terrorist financing is not done only through fake currency. It is done through gun running, it is done through a narcotic thing, it is done through hawala and so many other means. So the three promises that were made by Mr. Modi, none of them actually were fulfilled. Neither did you stop the black economy, nor did you stop the counterfeit currency. And counterfeit currency was 0.001% of the total currency. Now to eliminate 0.001% of the currency, you don't do the whole currency demonetization. If you've done demonetization over a period of year, so like for instance, in Europe, when the EU was introduced, then the German mark, the French, currency and all, they were demonetized. But it was done 5 years. There was preparation made, coins minted, currency printed, etc. Then you did it. So if you'd done it like that, then India also would not have had a problem. But what it did was, it did not remove the black economy, but damaged the economy because the economy did not have cash. So therefore, the work stopped. Markets were empty. The unorganized sector did not have money to pay the wages. We talked on NDTV to a beggar woman, and she said, I have 4 children. One was sick and I didn't have money. So one of them died. Earlier I used to earn 200-300 rupees. Now people don't have cash to give. So I'm not even earning 20-30. My children are going hungry. So even beggar people were having trouble. Unorganized sector was shutting down. So we damaged the economy without actually solving the black economy problem. So government was trying various things. But you see, how is the black economy generated? Black economy is generated by a triad consisting of the corrupt businessman, the corrupt politician, and the corrupt executive. this linkage is necessary for the black income to be generated, right? And each of them makes a share. So this triad has to be demolished.
Can you explain that again, sir? The triad?
The triad consists of the corrupt businessman who wants to earn extra over and above the white income. And for that, he has to foul up the system by having the politician in his pocket, okay, and foul up the system by having the support of the executive. And the executive consists of the police, the bureaucracy, and the judiciary. Right?
So corrupt businessman, corrupt politician, and corrupt bureaucrat.
Executive consisting of the bureaucracy, the police, and the judiciary.
Got it. So then how do we solve the black economy problem?
Okay. So, in the literature, people say we have high tax rates and therefore people are evading taxes.
Yeah.
People say we have a lot of controls and therefore people are fouling up those controls and so on. Huh?
Correct.
But my argument in my books is that neither of these two is the cause.
Really?
Yeah. We are not a very heavily taxed nation. Only about 1.1% of Indians are effective income taxpayers. 98.8% are not effective taxpayers. They pay very small amount. Huh? So our tax is very little. Our direct tax GDP ratio is only about 6.5% at the moment. Okay, which is very small direct tax collection as given the disparities that we have, it should be much higher. Okay, so in 1971, when Mrs. Gandhi was the finance minister for that year, the highest tax rate was 97.5%.
Yeah.
Okay, but Vanchu committee estimated the black economy size then to be only 7%. We reduced the tax rates down to 30% and the black economy size has risen to 60%.
Why, sir?
Because tax rate is not the cause. See, after all, when you pay a tax to the government gives you services back. Government is not something that's eating that money. Okay, your bureaucracy, your defense, your police is supposed to give you the services. If you don't have police, there'll be, all kinds of theft and this, that, and the other. So these services are helping the society and the economy to grow. So what you have is inefficiency in all of them because of the black economy. Okay. But the point is we pay very little taxes. We depend more on indirect taxes than on direct taxes.
Yeah.
And indirect taxes fall disproportionately on the poor people. Okay. So the point is that, it's not high tax rate because after all in Sweden and Finland and others, you have much higher tax rates. Huh? But people voluntarily pay the tax because they get it in return. They get through education, through health, through roads, infrastructure and so on. So what the government does, okay, is to give you services of various kinds, which it doesn't just eat up. So whatever tax we are paying, it comes back to us in some form or the other. So our tax rates are not very high compared to large number of other countries. So it's not that because of high rates. It is because there's a sense of injustice. Everybody, even a Ambani will feel that there's injustice in society and a person sleeping on the pavement will feel there's injustice in society. So when you have this sense of injustice, then you don't want to do what the government tells you to do because you want to try and in some form or the other circumvent it. Similarly, it's not controls that are the cause of black income generation. They're only a source. You will use any mechanism like you evade tax. Okay. So that's any mechanism to make an extra income because you don't have faith in them. So you will foul up the public distribution system also. You will foul up anything like education and health. Okay. To make an extra. If people have commitment, they'll do it properly. If they don't have commitment, they will not do the work properly.
Okay? So feeling of injustice is the problem.
Injustice, So lack of social justice is what I say is the reason. And a black income generation is an illegality. So the question to ask is how has illegality increased from 4 to 5% of GDP in 1955-56 to the 62% that I calculated for 2012-13? It means illegality is increasing. Now, for illegality to increase, you need to have a triad working. And this triad consists of the corrupt businessman who wants to make an income over and above the white income. And for that, he has to foul up the politics. So he has to have the politicians in control. And he has to foul up the implementers, that is the executive, which is the bureaucracy, the police, and the judiciary. So it is this triad which runs the black economy. Okay. So unless you tackle this triad, okay, the black income generation will continue. Now, whichever government is in power, whichever political party is in power wants to generate black income for itself. Therefore, they allow this. And businessmen would like such people to be there so that they can generate more black income. So, businessmen finance the election of politicians. Okay. And for the 1998 election, I interviewed 14 members of parliament. Okay. And I put that data in my book as MP1 to MP14. And each one of them told me that we know that we are getting this money from big businessmen, we are getting this from local businessmen, from politicians, from judges, and from policemen, because they are expecting that when we get to power, we'll do favor to them. So there's a quid pro quo. And each one of them told me that we begin our day in parliament or in the legislature with a lie. We have spent a lot of money, but we claim that we have spent less than the election expenditure limit.
What does that mean, sir?
Say the election expenditure limit is, say, suppose 90 lakhs. They're spending 90 crores, but they're declaring only 90 lakhs.
Got it.
At that time, the expenditure limit was 15 lakh. The average they were spending was 1.28 crores, 8 times more, but they were declaring only 15 lakhs. So they begin with a lie. And they carry this lie through their regime, where they're doing favors to the businessmen and so on. And they're promising to the poor people, they're promising poverty removal, but that's not happening because they're favoring the business community.
So politician is the catalyst of black money.
Politician is a part of the black economy generation because the businessmen want to make extra income. So businessmen don't want honest people to come into power. Okay, if the honest people come to power, then they won't be able to make this extra money. This is a frog in the well attitude. Because as I said, if the black economy was less, economy would be 8 times larger. So each of the businessmen would be 10 times larger. Right? But their attitude is a bird in hand. So today, if I can make money, I'll do it. Okay, but I'm not saying that, by having a clean economy, the economy will do much better, and therefore all of us will be better off.
Then how do we solve this problem, sir?
So you have to break this triad. If you cannot break this triad, nothing will change. And to break the triad, what do you need to do? Accountability. Accountability of business, accountability of politician, accountability of judiciary, accountability of police, accountability of bureaucracy. So at every level, you have to have accountability to the public. But the public is very weak in India. We are a very feudal society. Whatever the order from top, we follow. So we don't question. Okay? But if the public stands up and says, no, you have to do things properly, the politician will be forced to do it. He'll not do what the businessman tells him. That's why businessmen don't want strong, honest politicians to come to power. If strong, honest people come to power, then this will not happen. So accountability is the key, and the public is the key to demand accountability. But in India, the public being very, the whole system being very feudal, the public is not demanding accountability. So therefore, we vote for the corrupt, we vote for the Bahubali. You can see, for instance, in UP, this Bahubali got elected, and then he was made Minister of Education some 8-10 years back. There's a huge hue and cry saying, how can you make a Bahubali? So he's made prison in charge. Now you can imagine what would happen to prisons if a Bahubali becomes the prison in charge, right? And the police collects hafta and allows all illegal activity to take place, and that hafta goes right up to the top. So, for instance, my wife is a famous journalist. Once at the New Delhi railway station, her bag got picked, from the car. They do these tricks, and they divert your attention and they ran away. And then this was at 10 o'clock at night. She talked to her friend in the PMO's office, who was the minister in charge. Okay, and morning 6 o'clock, the phone came that your bag is here. So she went and picked up the bag. Okay. Now, how many people recover their bag? Only. So the police knew which gang is operating in the New Delhi railway station. Okay, so when I wrote about the hafta system in Bombay and Delhi, the DCP and the IG there, they told me how it works. So who are the pickpockets? What encroachment is taking place? Everything is known, and hafta is collected. So when I interviewed one of the former home secretaries, he said every additional police station in Delhi means more crime.
What?
Means more crime, because the post of the SHO is auctioned, and therefore the SHO has to collect hafta.
Can you explain this, sir? What is SHO?
Station house officer. Okay.
So how does this work?
So it works because all beat constables are supposed to collect hafta weekly payment from all the businesses and the illegal work going on in that area.
Oh.
And this is shared level by level right up to the top.
So it's almost like a bank branch opening up, but it's almost like a crime branch.
Yeah.
Which is what it is supposed to be.
So
but it is
police-
making money out of crime.
Yeah. So illegality is used to generate income. Okay.
Hi guys, if you loved watching this clip and if you want to do a deep dive into the podcast, we've mentioned the link in the description. So click that link, watch that podcast and take notes. Thank you for watching and subscribe for more clips.